Starting shortly. Blah, 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 blah. All right, we're cutting that off so we don't get shut down by anybody. All right. I think we're live, Jim.
Nice.
I think we did it.
Finally.
Oh, you want a high five? It's too early, I see. I'm used to doing that with Scott. I'm not used to doing that with Jim. So, all right, let's talk. Oh, this might still be playing, so let me turn this sucker off. All right. So, okay, good. I can turn my volume down now. All right, so forgive us. First time Game of Thrones podcast for some of the BDL podcast fans. I've decided I need a Game of Thrones hat. Cheers to all you that are watching. I think we actually
Game
have
of Thrones mug.
A text. We'll try and put a ticker up a little later. I don't know if it's going to work, but we'll try this shit. You'll probably hear some papers ruffling, some finger typing. You'll hear all that crap because we're just doing this shit live and see how it goes. What our plan is to recap all the seasons. So if you haven't watched the show, spoiler alert, you're going to find out about everything that's happened one episode at a time. We're going to do this leading up to the actual show, just so you know, Jim, there's the camera. Oh. We're going to do this leading up to the show. So for the next couple weeks, even if only 0 of you are watching, we're still going to do it because I'm probably going to listen to this at work because it's fun. Game of Thrones is probably one of the greatest shows I've ever seen. So I don't know about how you feel, Jim, but I'm glad you decided to do this with me. You got anything you want to say before we get going?
I honestly, Game of Thrones was one of those things that I heard about for a couple years, but I was late to the party. I tried watching it. I was never like a Dungeons and Dragons type of geek. I was always like a superhero geek, and I'm like, it's below me. I watched a couple episodes, didn't understand it. I was like, And then I went back because everybody's like, you gotta watch it, give it at least 4 or 5 episodes, and I was hooked, and I just couldn't stop watching it.
It took me not long, but as we recap, I'll let you know where I got hooked, where I was done and I was fully invested, and it didn't take long. So, with that being said, you want to get started?
Absolutely.
All right. Why don't you take episode 1? You want to read out the synopsis, or how about I'll read it. I'll show you what was in my head.
Okay.
And how we're gonna recap this stuff. First things first. We want to add a ticker to the screen. For those of you who don't know, those are Game of Thrones BDL logo. There we got. I can't really point to it, but we got the reigning king. We got Robert Baratheon right now.
Yep. Currently
sits on the throne. Huge battle. I can't think of the name right now because I'm nervous and it's live. Battle of the Trident? Yeah, where he knocked Rhaegar. Robert's Rebellion.
Yes, Robert's Rebellion.
In the Battle of the
which could be possibly one of the spin-offs.
Right. I don't think it is. About it, but it could be, but we'll get there.
Yeah.
We'll definitely get there. He defeated the Targaryens and took over all that other stuff. Oh, and a disclaimer. We're not experts, so we're probably going to get some shit wrong. So, I guess that's where
we're just super fans.
Yeah, we're just fans that should know more but don't. We didn't read the books. Maybe one week we'll have a book expert on. That would be pretty cool to do the differences. But
that is true.
And you can see also we got Who's Next scrolling. That's people that are currently on the show in line for the throne, or who thinks they own it. That's a good way to do it. We have a rest in peace scroll memorial for the people that we deem important enough. We're going to enter them into the scroll. And we have a death toll. After every episode, we'll let you know how many people have died so far. Mostly. Because I know I'm not putting in like 70 soldiers.
Right.
It's just assumed.
That's tough to try and bail.
Yeah, they had to have some sort of effect on us. You know what? We'll debate every death that we discuss, and we
Plus,
decide.
do we count White Walkers who are already technically dead already? Yeah,
exactly. Unless it's like, okay, let's not talk about that.
Yeah.
They don't even know who White Walkers are yet.
That's true. Can't
some
spoil.
Some of them don't. All right, so with that said, let's switch to the ticker with chat cam.
Okay.
And get this show going. All right. Season 1. It all begins with the pilot. Winter is coming. In the 7 kingdoms of Westeros, a soldier of the ancient Night's Watch order survives an attack by supernatural creatures known as White Walkers. Though until now they are mythical. He rushes to Castle Winterfell, which is ruled by Ned Stark. That's Warden of the North, who decapitates the soldier for desertion. Yeah, it's one of the rules if you ever want to jump in, go ahead.
Right.
It's one of the rules when you're a member of the Night's Watch. If you desert, whoosh, death. And Ned Stark. And
actually, he didn't just do it, but he did it in front of his son, who he wanted to show the proper way of being a leader.
Yes, because he believes that they should
they should do it themselves. Swing the sword themselves.
Whoever passes the sentence should swing the sword.
Yep.
So, of course, in King's Landing, which is where all the kings live, the capital, Jon Arryn, the king's hand, he died. Oh, yeah, look, we can do this now. See? Boom. That's Jon Arryn, dead. Didn't take long. Should add him to the scroll.
Yes.
We'll add him towards the end. But he dies, and what that does is it was mysterious. So King Robert got a little nervous. He went to see Ned, his longtime friend, in Winterfell, and he offered him the position of Hand of the King, which is second most powerful person in the land. And some say it's the true power. Yeah. Some say that's the true king. He also wanted to propose that his firstborn son, Joffrey, and Ned's oldest daughter, Sansa, get married. Ned's wife, Catelyn Stark, received a letter from her sister Lysa that her sister Lysa was Jon Arryn's wife, and she believes the death to be suspicious. So she saw that. She said that Jon was murdered by the Lannisters, Queen Cersei's family. Yes, you're learning all the characters right now. This is why this is kind of weird. But Catelyn burns the letter and tells Ned about it, believing that the Lannisters are plotting against Robert. Ned's 10-year-old son, Brandon, climbs a tower, sees Jaime and Cersei having a little nookie. Yes, I did say sister and brother. This is where I was going, what's going on with this show? This is too much in one episode.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever seen that.
So there's a lot to lay out here, so bear with us for this first one. But yeah, they're getting a little nookie on. You find that out. Jaime's not happy that Bran caught him. Poof! Right out the window. We think Bran's dead. That's kind of actually, I think, how the episode ended. I think that's how it ended.
That is, but,
yeah. We'll skip over that a little, and we also go to where the heck are they? Essos, Prince. Here we go. Viserys. I'm saying Viserys, but I know. No, see, that's the.
I think it's Viserys.
We're gonna go Viserys.
I think
Prince Viserys Targaryen makes a deal with the Dothraki warlord Khal Drogo, who marries Viserys'.
I like to also call him Prince Whiny Bitch.
Prince Whiny Bitch.
Yeah.
We're gonna call him Prince Whiny Bitch because he believes the throne is his and it's mine. So, anyways, he marries off his younger sister Daenerys off to Khal Drogo in exchange for providing the Dothraki army to the Whiny Bitch for him to conquer Westeros and reclaim the Iron Throne that he believes is him. So, Jim, while I do a little bit of filling in here, why don't you say some stuff about that episode?
Well, first of all, we should probably have a count for another important thing. How many times Daenerys gets naked.
Oh, that would be a good one.
That was the first episode, and
if
the first time I fell in love.
The first time you fell in love?
Yeah, it was awesome.
All right. So we're putting Jon Arryn on the list.
Yeah.
Jon Arryn makes the list.
So while Mike is typing away here with Jon Arryn.
Why was he important, Jim?
Jon Arryn was like a mentor to both Ned Stark and Robert Baratheon, and was an advisor to the king. And, they loved him like a older brother. His death was a shock. And I think that's what raised so much suspicion with Robert, who I think never trusted the Lannisters from day one. We first meet Joffrey, and we think, hey, this kid's not a bad kid. And
we'll just leave that at
yeah,
that
we'll
for
leave
now.
that for now. Yeah. We also get our first scene with Tyrion, who is my favorite Lannister.
He's a good dude.
Good dude.
We'll learn more about him.
Yeah. Do you remember how we meet
It
Tyrion?
did get glossed over that he was in a brothel.
In a brothel, and Jamie was looking for him.
In a brothel.
Yeah.
Banging out the horse.
Yeah.
That's what he does.
And a good brother. Not only did he let his brother finish, but he gave him a couple more whores to help him out, remember?
Oh, yeah.
He's like, hurry up.
Just hurry up and get done. Here's 4 or 5 more. So that'll bring us to the end of the episode 1 recap. We got to watch our time here. We got to see. I got to find the time clock. Because we're going to try and do this in an hour. We got to pick up the pace.
I also have to say, nobody understands the basically why Cersei is banging her brother and vice versa. So that's an interesting angle too.
I got to fix the death toll. I screwed that up. Yeah, we as a viewer don't know that yet, right? Is that what you're saying?
Right. As a viewer, we don't understand. We just think that they're just fucked up.
Because it's not normal. All right, there. I almost got it. We're almost right. This is part of live stuff right here. So we got to delete. Oh, okay. There we go. We're good. Death tolls up. We got John Aaron scrolling. Rest in peace, my man. All right, let's go on to episode 2. I'll let you take this one.
Okay.
It's a shorty.
Episode 2.
This is titled The King's Road.
Having accepted his new role as King's Hand, Ned leaves Winterfell with his daughters Sansa and Arya, while Catelyn stays behind to tend to Bran. The unconscious Bran is attacked by an assassin, but his dire wolf saves him. Catelyn decides to go to the King's Landing to tell Ned about the attempt and suspected Lannister involvement. Jon Snow, Ned's illegitimate son, heads north to join the Brotherhood of the Night's Watch, protectors of the wall that keeps the White Walkers and the wildlings from entering civilized Westeros. Tyrion Lannister, Cersei's brother, decides to forego the trip south with his family and instead accompanies Snow's entourage to the wall. When Joffrey threatens Arya and her friend, Arya's direwolf defends her, provoking a conflict between the Starks and the Lannisters. To resolve the conflict, Cersei demands that Robert order Ned to execute Arya's direwolf, but as Arya has sent it away. To save it from retribution, Sansa's direwolf is killed in its stead. I think it's dead. Sorry.
You can learn how good we read now.
Yeah. I'm special ed. In Winterfell, Brandon awakens from unconsciousness. Meanwhile,
it's a miracle.
Daenerys focuses her attention on learning how to please Drogo.
Yeah, he's got to be pleased because he's, the shit. You know what we totally glossed over in the first episode is we got the direwolves. Each Stark kid, which we didn't really name because it wasn't in the synopsis that we downloaded. Each Stark kid, they found direwolves on the trail, and every one of them has a direwolf. Want to go over them real quick, or just as we go, we'll get them?
As we go.
All right, as we go, we'll get them. Well, right now you've been introduced to Lady, who is Sansa's direwolf, and Nymeria, who is Arya's direwolf. So, there's that.
I'd also say this is the first encounter, too, that we have with Jon Snow and how he is an outcast. In the first episode, they have the dinner with the Lannisters, and he's not even allowed to be in the same room as them. And there's a good interaction between him and Tyrion, both being bastards. Tyrion because he is a dwarf, and Jon Snow because he was born illegitimately out of wedlock.
So he got ghost.
Yeah. I just thought it would be kind of important, too.
It is important.
Yeah.
Definitely important. I got too much going on in my head.
Yeah, we're pretty excited about this, so yeah. So and we're on like a little timer here, so we're trying to.
So we're not really adding anybody to the. We are going to add someone to the rest in peace scroll for sure, because Mr. One Ned Stark, what did he do? He slashed Lady's throat. Looks like I didn't put it on here, so there she is. Poor lady, she gone.
Damn,
transition back. Got her. All right, so we're going to add Lady to the RIP scroll, and the death toll is now up to 7. So as I fix that,
this is the first that we see of the Joffrey being kind of not the nice kid we thought he was, and a little bit of a whiny bitch.
He did kind of look like a nice kid at first.
He did. You know, trying to be all romantic and nice, and it just turns out he's just a douche.
Sorry, I'm stalling. This is the hard part. It's where we need a producer to do all our graphics for us while we go.
Exactly.
Death tolls up to 7, and we're gonna add Lady. Rest in peace, Lady. All right, happy? I'm happy. On to episode 3. Lord Snow. Ned joins the King's small council at King's Landing to help out his boy, Robert, and he learns just how poorly Westeros is being managed. Catelyn tries to covertly warn her husband, but is being intercepted by an old friend, Littlefinger. This is where we meet. Well, we kind of met him already, but Littlefinger, Peter Baelish, used to have a crush on Catelyn, so of course you got to have suspicions of him. Anything he says when it comes in regards to Ned, but you know, why bother with that? Bran learns he'll never walk again. That sucks, but it's probably pretty important in the rest of the story. He does not remember the events leading to his fall, though. He can't remember why he is crippled. I don't think he ever does remember until... Yeah. Okay, anyways. Jon struggles to adapt to life on the wall. He is at the wall now. He went with his Uncle Benjen.
Yes.
And important, Ned promised that next time they see each other, he'll tell him all about his mother. I didn't know why it was a big deal then. Apparently he's a bastard. You explained all that, so... Yep. That is what you were saying, how I was typing?
Yes.
All right, so he does... as he trains with a number of lowborn recruits because something that should be explained at the Night's Watch, it's usually rapists, prisoners, a bunch of bad people that are there, and then the what do you want to call them, the wardens?
It's basically...
The correctional officers, so to speak, are usually the highborn or... really good battlers, warriors. They're the ones that end up being the leaders. So
it's basically the worst of the worst is thrown there.
But in his case,
they don't really have a choice.
In his case, the leaders of the Night's Watch are not impressed by his bastard status of being a Stark.
Yep.
So Lord Commander Mormont asks Tyrion to plead with the king to send more men to the Night Watch. That's probably not going to happen because Joffrey's a dick. Or, well, he's not king yet, right?
No.
Robert's... It might happen. Just say that. Yep. Daenerys learns that she is pregnant and begins to stand up to her brother, the whiny bitch. So that's that. Rest in peace. Nobody.
Yeah.
What a letdown.
It was kind of a boring episode.
God, I don't got to type nothing.
Yeah.
I really underestimated the typing part. And by the way, the live chat, we can't read it. So
no, sorry,
I can't
guys.
see it.
Hopefully you're enjoying this.
I think it's just Snappy's Pub picking on me.
Probably.
I think probably just picking on it's just Scott being a dick. Thanks, Scott.
Yeah.
All right, so number 4, the episode is titled Crippled, Bastards, and Broken Things. I'm going to let you read while I...
All right. Well, in this episode, Tyrion makes a saddle modifications for Bran, so he's allowed to ride. Ned searches for clues to unexplained death of his mentor and predecessor, Jon Arryn, and in the process discovers King Robert's illegitimate son. Robert and his guests witness a tournament.
What? Illegitimate son?
Ned. Jon makes measures to protect Samwell Tarly, an awkward and friendless boy, from the abuse of the Night's Watchman. A frustrated... what do we agree we're going to go
Whiny
with?
bitch.
Whiny bitch?
Whiny bitch Viserys.
Yeah,
Viserys. V-Man.
Yeah, clashes with his newly empowered sister. Sansa dreams of life as a queen, while Arya envisions a far different future. At a chance encounter in a roadside tavern, Catelyn rallies her father's allies and has Tyrion arrested for conspiring to murder her son.
Wow.
A lot happens in this episode.
We did have one death. Somebody was killed by Gregor Clegane, who's also known as the Mountain, I believe. We'll get to him later, but he's a dick, and he's a big dick. He's a Gymshark dick.
Yeah.
He's a commish dick. All right, so that's
Yeah.
that. Just a lot of setup episodes. So this is where, if you're watching the show, you're starting to go, okay, there's a lot of talking, man. What's going on? You just had 2 episodes in a row where not much happened.
Right.
One thing to note, when Sir Gregor Clegane impaled that guy during the joust, why did his brother, the Hound,
yes.
came in? I don't remember exactly why he came in, but he came in to beat up his brother, and they had a little battle. And in the name of your king, stop! And we got to meet the Hound, and also their brothers. Long story short, can we tell this? This was something that everybody should know from history if they read the books, right? Or
Yes.
Mm-hmm. They don't get along because the Mountain smashed Sandor, the Hound's face in a fire because he was playing with one of his toys.
Yeah, and permanently disfigured him.
Permanently disfigured his face. That's why he's called the Hound. Something important to know. At this moment, we think the Hound's kind of a dickish good guy.
The Mountain was, after he impaled him, didn't he go apeshit and try attacking, was it Ned?
Possibly.
And then, I remember...
it's so long ago.
I remember the Hound blocking his sword. And that's how they started going at each other.
And then they dragged the dude out by his foot.
Yeah, and then Robert yelled at and scolded him.
In the name of your king!
Yeah.
Enough of that. On to the next episode. We get some deaths. The Wolf and the Lion. Ned refuses to participate in Robert's plan to assassinate the pregnant Daenerys Targaryen. He wants her dead because all of the Targaryens are scum, and as long as one's alive, his crown is in jeopardy. So we get to kind of see a dickish side of Robert Baratheon. But he decides to resign as Robert's hand, which angers Robert, of course, King Robert. So Catelyn and Tyrion, whom she has taken as her prisoner, arrive at her sister Lysa's home in the Eyrie. That's where Jon Arryn was from. A lot to keep up with here. I know news of Tyrion's capture reaches King's Landing, where Jaime Lannister, the twin brother and lover, demands answers from Ned. Vengeful Jaime orders Ned's men killed, and they fight him and Ned until Jaime's man stabs Ned in the leg from behind, which is bullshit. You don't do that in a fight. And actually, if I remember it, did Jaime kill that guy?
Yes.
Because he stole his honor away, because he wanted to kill him himself right there, but he couldn't do it with Ned being crippled from a wound
he did.
that was not done in a fair fight.
Yeah.
So there's that.
I feel like we got robbed on that. That would have been Ned and Jaime going at it.
That would have been done. That would have been like the show.
Yeah, that's true.
So there's that. We had, how many deaths did we have, Jim? We had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 deaths, brings our total to 13. So we're starting to pile them up.
Now, in this episode, is this where we meet another important character, Bronn? Isn't Tyrion meets him on the road, right?
You know, my wife and I were talking about that, and we couldn't remember. It had to be in one of the brothels, or not brothels, one of the restaurants, wherever they were, and she ordered him arrested. And then did he just tag along? So
he tagged along, yep. And then what happened was they got jumped on the road, and remember he just showed his sword,
right?
And just took everybody out.
So Bronn is important.
Bronn is important, but at that time, Bronn was still
a sellsword. He is a sellsword right now. Bronn's a sellsword. He's a little more important a little later, so that's why we figured we'd bring him up.
Cool guy, though.
Way to bring that up.
Sorry.
6, one of my favorite episodes. This is where I started to go, this show is for real. I couldn't believe what I had witnessed, and it was awesome. So let's get to it. Want me to take this one?
Yeah, go ahead. This is your favorite episode? Or one of your favorites?
There's a lot of favorite episodes. Yeah. But Robert reappoints Ned as hand and tasks him with running affairs until Robert returns from hunting. Villagers from River Run arrive in a throne room, and news of the atrocities committed by raiders, who Ned deduces were led by Gregor Clegane, the Mountain, a Lannister retainer. Ned sentences the Mountain to death and sends a message to Tywin Lannister summoning him to the trial. Tywin is the father. I don't know if we really said that yet, but
no, not yet.
He's the father. He's a pretty badass dude. Ned decides to send Sansa, who's now reconciled with Joffrey. She's in love with him. And Arya back to Winterfell. Ned discovers that Joffrey and his siblings are not Robert's biological children. I wonder whose children he is. So Bran, while testing out his new saddle, is attacked by wildlings. Rob Stark, Ned's oldest son, and Theon, Ned's foster son, whose father was... That's a whole nother story. Blah, blah, blah. Him and Theon saved him. So there you go. There's that. In the Vale, which is where Tyrion is, he demands a trial by combat because he did not do whatever Catelyn thought he did.
Right.
Which is what? Kidnapped his daughter? I don't remember.
Yeah, they thought...
Killed Jon Arryn. Did he poison him? Maybe she thought he
Well, she thought he had something to do with that,
horrible.
and she also thought that he kidnapped Arya.
Okay, there you go. Perfect.
Because
He did some shit, and she was
Right.
pissed. So his sister was going to throw him out the moon door, which is this big window, and
And
fall
you
300
also
feet to
see
death.
how Liza's kind of crazy.
Yeah, she's definitely crazy.
Yeah.
She a crazy bitch. She actually breastfeeds her like 10-year-old son still, and while she has nice boobies, but
She's not very attractive.
Yeah,
No.
probably, yeah,
And probably messes up the kid too, I'm thinking.
but probably. I think he may have had some issues. So there's
Is this
that.
the episode also? No, that we see that Cersei doesn't just bang Jaime.
Oh yeah, she's banging her cousin.
She's banging her cousin too.
Possibly. She bangs lots of people.
I
There's
also-
lots of banging going on
There
in the
is.
show too. So
She likes to keep it in the family. Well, let's put it that way. I wonder if the father ever got that. They never really touched on that.
I don't know. I'm gonna stay out of that one. I'm gonna move on.
Yeah.
To Tyrion's trial by combat. Lysa grants it. She thinks it's cool. It'll be exciting. She chooses Servardes, who's this great knight. You know that she thinks will win easily. But what she didn't expect is Tyrion was going to ask for a champion, which is what he did. It's where Bronn comes in. Nobody wanted to stick up for him, so it was going to have to be Tyrion versus this knight. And Bronn said, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. And he actually won, killed him, wore him out. It was a big, long battle. Bronn had no armor. This guy had armor. Bronn just kept running around, tired him out, pushed him out the moon door. It's actually pretty cool.
It was
a pretty cool scene. And this leads me to my favorite part of the episode. The whiny bitch V-Man was super pissed that things weren't moving fast enough. He thought things should be going faster. He threatened to stab his little baby sister in the belly, where Khal Drogo's baby was.
Yeah.
Khal Drogo was having
None of
that. So he gave him, hence the name of the episode, a golden crown. Oh, yeah.
Ouch.
Ouch.
Yeah.
There's nothing else to say
Yeah.
but ouch.
Needless to say, bye-bye.
And he gone. We're going to put him in the rest in peace scroll, though.
By the way,
I just think we should.
Is this also the episode where Daenerys learns how to bang really good, too?
Yes, probably.
It
That
was
was-
either this one or the episode before this, but that was also awesome.
Whiny bitch.
Well, basically, Drago would only do it from behind.
Yeah.
And she took charge, remember? She's like, no,
Yeah, she's like,
it
no,
doesn't
no.
have to be just that way.
Not this time, buddy.
Not this time. I'm in charge.
Totally forgot about that.
Yeah.
It's important. I don't know if that was when it was. It had to be because...
Oh, I knew it made his head
so
spin.
we had 1, 2, 3, 4 deaths that episode, which is pretty impressive. We're still on a pretty high count. Brings us to a total of 17. So, happy about that. All right, on to episode 7. You win or you die. This is where it starts to really surprise me.
Yes.
Go ahead, Jim. Do your thing.
In King's Landing, Ned tells Cersei he knows all of her children are Jaime's. Uh-oh. They soon learn that Robert had been critically wounded by a boar while hunting. A dying Robert names Ned as the protector of the realm to rule until Joffrey reaches the legal age. Ned sends a message to Stannis, Robert's brother, intending to enthrone him since Robert has no true legal heirs. Ned tells Peter Baelish about his plan and asks him to gain the loyalty of the City Watch, the only force capable of overpowering Lannister forces, loyal to Cersei. After Robert's death, Ned Baelish and the City Watch confront Cersei and Joffrey in the throne room, where Baelish and the City Watch betray Ned and attack his men. At the Wall, Ned's younger brother Benjen goes missing during a foray to the north. Beyond the Wall, Snow and Tarly are picked as stewards, with Jon assigned to Lord Commander Mormont. The stewards swear their loyalties to the Night Watch. In Essos, Robert's assassin is captured before he can poison Daenerys. Drogo vows to conquer the Seven Kingdoms and give that realm to his son. He starts marching towards Westeros.
All right, a lot happened in this episode. So, King Robb is out. King Robbie, he's done. I posted a picture while you were reading.
Yep.
So, he's gone. Who's that put on the throne?
Well, this is what starts the fight for the throne. It just gets the ball rolling because...
By succession, it's Joffrey.
Yes.
Joffrey is his son, who we think...
So-called.
Who we think,
yeah,
as a viewer, might not be his son. Might be illegitimate. He has this nice blonde hair like Cersei and Jaime. And I'm trying to remember how to spell his name. I think that's it.
Yeah, that's it.
So there you go. Joffrey Baratheon, the new king. He's up there. Let's talk about...
He is not the new king.
Well,
he does not take the throne yet. Ned technically is in charge.
Oh, see? Correction.
So Ned is the king of the realm.
Let's fix that.
Yeah. But this is where everybody's starting to lay claim to the throne.
Ned Stark, my man. All right. Ned Stark's on the throne. All right.
You got Stannis, who thinks he should be king because he's the eldest brother of Robert.
All right.
And he also feels that Joffrey is not Robert's son. So he's trying to put his claim into it.
Right.
The youngest brother, what's his name?
Renly.
He thinks he should be king for some reason because I believe his lover, not a woman, convinces him that, hey,
he's a Tyrell.
Yeah. You should be a king. Cause
Lars,
yeah. So
I feel like we got some sort of...
He was also a knight.
Mental skill on this.
Yeah, he had fancy armor, remember? Yeah.
Yes.
So, so you have 4 or 5 people jockeying to be king.
I'm adding Daenerys to this.
Oh,
Daenerys.
Yes. Ooh, she wants to be king as well.
She wants to be queen.
Queen.
But now that her brother's gone, she thinks that Drogo will be king. So we put Drogo on this list? Nah, let's not put him on there because she's really...
Drogo just wants to kill everything.
He wants to kill and he wants to bang his wife.
Yeah, which, hey...
So we're going there. Life. Oh, we got to take I forgot to put Viserys in the...
Death toll.
The death toll. Go ahead. Let's jump into the next one while I get it going on.
All right.
Season 8, we're actually doing all right. We're a little behind, but we did have a little opening here. So, the pointy end. Go ahead, Jim. Take it away.
All right. Arya manages to escape the Red Keep after her Bravosian.
No idea.
Bravosian?
I don't know. I got it off Wikipedia.
Yeah, Swordmaster delays the guards sent to arrest her, but Sansa is captured. Robb hears the news and prepares the northern armies to fight the Lannisters, leaving Bran behind to rule Winterfell. Lysa refuses to fight the Lannisters, and Catelyn leaves to join Robb's camp. Tyrion and Bronn are surrounded by Shaga and his men. We're basically like wildlings.
Mm-hmm.
Tyrion convinces them to escort them to Tywin, who will repay them. They arrive at Tywin's camp, where they later ask Shaga to help them in their confrontation with the Starks in exchange for even greater payment. Joffrey appoints Tywin as his hand. Sansa begs Joffrey to show mercy upon Ned. Joffrey agrees if Ned publicly recognizes Joffrey's claim to the throne and admits to having committed treason. At the Wall, some bodies affected by the White Walkers are found. In Essos, Drogo soldiers begin attacking nearby settlements, enslaving locals in order to sell them and gain the money to buy the ships necessary to cross the narrow sea.
All right.
Very busy episode. Very busy, yes.
I'm looking at the deaths from this episode, and I'm actually surprised there was nothing about this one guy in the synopsis. Was there? And I missed it? I missed you say Syrio?
No, Syrio Florio.
Did I hear you say his name in the synopsis? Well, anyway,
Well,
Sirio...
yeah, but here's the problem. It's never been officially claimed that
Let's explain why he's important first.
Yes.
Sirio Farrell is the first sword of Bravos. A really good swordsman, and Ned hired him to train Arya. Because Arya's hellbent on being a warrior as opposed to a lady. So he hired... He hired Sirio to teach her how to play with her little needle that Jon gave her.
Yes.
So, he's a great swordsman. Unfortunately, he meets his maker in this episode. During one of the training sessions, the Kingsguard comes in after Ned, after they betray Ned, right? Which all happened in your synopsis. See, I can't type while you're reading your
Sirio
synopsis.
actually takes a whole bunch of them out with a wooden sword.
With a wooden sword, he takes all these guys out. There's one left. And he tells Arya to run, and she's like, no. And he's like, run. And she's like, no. And he says, what do you say to death? Not today. And she runs, and then you hear a bunch of screaming, but you don't know if it's Sirio. So Sirio could be alive still, and just decided to spare everybody there, because, you never heard, who was it? Ari Martin? What was his name? What was that Kingsguard guy? Yeah. Oh, there's probably like... real Game of Thrones fans flipping out that I can't remember the guy's name, but anyways, one of the Kingsguard, something Martin, whatever. Martin. We'll get to him. Martin. We'll get to him later.
Yeah.
Anyways, he said he was going to kill him. Never really bragged that he killed the breast sword in Esseros, which you would think he would do had he done it.
Exactly.
So we'll see if they're alive. So to wrap up this episode, the death toll on this one is a new high for us. We had 7 deaths this episode. Who do they include, Jim? Read that list.
Vaon Poole, speared by Lannister soldiers. Septa Mordain, beheaded by Lannister soldiers. Sirio Farrell says it was stabbed off screen. So we're going to go with that.
We're going to go with that for now.
Stable Boy accidentally stabbed in the stomach by Arya. I remember that with needle.
Was he accidentally stabbed?
Yeah.
I guess I missed that part. I just thought she killed him. All right.
Jafar Flowers killed off screen White Walkers, resurrected as a White Walker and burned.
Because that's the only way to kill White Walkers.
Yes, he was actually part of the Night's Watch.
As we know right now, that's the only way to kill him.
Yes,
burn
him. Othor killed off screen by White Walkers, also resurrected and burned by Jon Snow, and Mago, throat sliced open by Khal Drogo with his own sword.
Now, what I believe, this is the fight. During this fight, Drogo got slashed. Which doesn't seem important.
No.
But, it's just scratch. I think that's what he said.
Yeah.
Scratch. I ain't got time to bleed.
Yeah.
A little reference to Scott there. So that's season, episode 8. Let's move on to episode 9. The Hooked episode. This episode hooked me, just so you know. So I'll read it. I'm going to read it a little here. All right, so the Stark army arrives at the Twins' castle. Catelyn convinces Lord Frey to let them pass and assist them, in exchange for her agreeing to the marriage of Robb and Arya to Frey's children in the future. So they weren't too happy about that, but got to do what you got to do to get the crown. Robb sacrificed 2,000 soldiers in a confrontation with the Lannister army to do a loop-de-doop and sneak up on the Lannister army to capture Jaime. In a public hearing, Ned confesses to treason and publicly affirms that Joffrey is his rightful heir. Now, why in the hell would he do this, being such an honorable dude? Because he was told that his life would be spared, and they'd send him to the Night Watch, and he could live out his days, and his daughters would be fine, everything would be happy. I don't know if it turned out that way. So, however, rather than Joffrey sentencing him to the wall, as it was negotiated, the vengeful Joffrey had him decapitated. Yes, that's how it happened. Just like that. That's the last picture we see of Ned alive. Right there.
This is kind of funny because if you're familiar with the actor, you would think, wow, this is the main character. There's no way they're going to kill this guy off right now.
I could not believe it.
And I was like, whoa. I was like, where are they going to go from here now?
Chopped his head off. It was an awful sound. Everybody was watching. Sansa was watching, bagging. Arya could see. Well, she didn't see it. She saw the birds go in the air because someone from the Night's Watch actually grabbed her. Said, boy, remember that? Oh, yeah.
Look away.
Anyways, yeah, that was sad. Look at me, boy. It was weird. Sad.
Yeah.
What can you do? Rest in peace, Ned Stark. He's going to make the list for sure. But anyways, then after that, we go to the wall where Jorah Mormont gives his family sword to Jon. His family sword's important. It's called Longclaw. It was a Mormont sword, but let's just leave it with that because we haven't met everybody yet.
Right.
Where was I? He gives his sword to Jon in gratitude of all the good work he's doing.
Actually, we did meet Lord Mormont.
Oh, we do know Mormont already.
Yeah, Lord Mormont showed up at the wedding of Khal Drogo and Daenerys.
Oh, yeah, okay. And what we do know is he was sent there by someone.
Right. But we just don't know who.
I think we do know. Maybe we don't. But anyways,
we're under the assumption he's
intel.
there to help Daenerys.
Yeah. Yes.
But what we find out in one of the episodes in the first season, actually, was he's actually a spy.
And we're talking about Jorah Mormont. He's
Right.
being a spy right now. Who was exiled from Bear Island, which is where the Lord Commander Mormont's from, because he was selling slaves and it was illegal and blah, blah, blah. It's so much shit to know. Just forget to say it. So anyways, he gives him the sword in gratitude. I don't remember what he did, but he gave it to him. And Master Aemon reveals that Jon that Aemon is a Targaryen, which is interesting. So I didn't know that. I caught on to that when he was dying. That's why I caught on to it.
That's
he was
me
talking
too.
about.
I didn't understand his past and
he was saying some things about some people from the past. Yeah. So in Essos, Drogo's wound becomes septic. So it was a little scratch, but now he's dying. He's becoming dead. It's getting infected. His death is imminent. So Daenerys convinces a slave woman who she saved, thinking that she would help, to use blood magic to save him. The woman tells everyone to leave the tent and stay outside until the spell is over. Daenerys goes into labor, and Jorah brings her into the forbidden tent seeking aid. Not good. He's supposed to stay out of there.
Yep.
But he wanted her to live. So, who'd we lose?
We lost Otho, slashed across the jaw by Jorah Mormont with his sword after threatening Daenerys.
We're not going to put Otho in the... Otho. We're not going to put him in there, all right?
Kotho, I think his name is. Oh. Kotho is...
Yeah, he's not going to make it.
No, but he was a great warrior, remember? And for basically a non-Droth...
He was good.
Drozdaki, right?
Yeah. Dothraki?
Dothraki.
That one was pretty bad.
To defeat him was... It never happens, right? I mean, it was... they mention it many times after that he actually took down Dothraki.
All right.
Because they're great warriors. And we also lost Ned Stark.
Super sad. Brings our death total up to 28. Yeah. We're rolling now. Got one episode left. I thought that was the end. I mean, how do you have another season or another episode after...
Yeah, that would have been a
chop
good
off your main character's
actually.
head.
I'm a little
I thought it was done. I was like, oh, another one. Sweet, let's go. So, I'm going to let you take care of Fire and Blood.
All right. The North succeeds from the Seven Kingdoms and proclaims Robb as their king. With Jaime captured by the Starks and Robert's brothers challenging Joffrey's claim to the throne, Tywin appoints Tyrion as acting king's hand, while Tywin fights to defend Joffrey's reign. Jon plans to desert his post at the wall to avenge Ned and support Robb, but his friends convince him to honor his oath and stay. Jon then joins the Night's Watch expedition to find Benjen beyond the wall. Yoren, a Night's Watch recruiter, helps Arya escape King's Landing disguised as a boy, while Joffrey plans to make Sansa his queen despite her father's execution. Daenerys learns that her unborn son is dead, and Drogo has been left in a vegetative state due to the witch's treacherous magic. Daenerys ends Drogo's life. She places her 3 dragon eggs next to Drogo and lights a funeral pyre. She burns the witch alive on Drogo's pyre and walks into the flames herself. When the embers die the following morning, Daenerys rises unharmed, flanked by 3 newborn dragons. Jorah and other witnesses kneel before her naked body.
Very naked body.
Very naked.
Thank you for pointing that out. Nicely done, Jim.
Thank you. There's something else I like about this episode.
What's that?
Besides the naked body of Daenerys. This is where we really get to learn about Robert's one bastard son, Gendry, who actually survives. What happens is Cersei finds out about all these illegitimate children and has them all murdered. And Gendry actually...
like straight up,
babies
out of hands.
Anything, done. So Gendry actually escapes, and with Arya, actually.
Yes.
So.
And they're heading to the Night's Watch.
Yes.
They're going to go be Night Watch members because everyone thinks Arya's a boy now. So, season 1 is over. We lost 3 people that episode. Total deaths 31. We're at an hour, believe it or not now.
Are we already?
So do we want to stop and then maybe come up with a different way to do it next week? Where we shorten our synopsises.
Yeah. Because
we can just find out.
In all honesty, we're going to be at an odd number anyways. Because
well, the last one I figured we'd do 7 then.
Right.
Previews and recaps, but
okay.
I think we'll work on getting these a little easier to understand as we talk. We just have to spend like a half
maybe
hour
we don't read the whole synopsis.
Yeah, that's what I'm
maybe
saying.
we could just like say what we like about the episode itself.
So let's go with this season 1. How'd you feel when it was all said and done?
I'd say I was so hooked. I couldn't wait to see. I was lucky enough to, and fortunate enough to not have watched it from the beginning. And so as soon as season 1 ended, I had to go on to season 2, and then I was caught up. I got on board season 3, and I was like, this is the greatest show I've ever seen in my life. I mean, it's up there with The Sopranos. I mean, it's just amazing. You know?
And one of the reasons we're doing this is just because there was so many good memories or moments that you just forget, you know, because there's so many good moments. It was cool as I started like rewatching the show. I was like, oh, that was awesome. Oh, that was awesome. And some people just don't have that much time to watch it.
Right. Or they forget about things because we're talking 8 years now.
Yeah, so we're going to do our best to wrap up all 7 seasons before the new season starts, which is, we should really know how many days that is from now. Can't believe we don't.
Yeah.
That's not good. It's like 4 weeks from now.
4 weeks from now.
Probably almost to the hour it'll be over.
Yep.
Oh, no, it's on a Sunday, though. That's right. Damn it. Stupid. So, anyways, it's like 4 weeks from now. April 14th, I believe, is the exact day. So, tune in. Watch us. We'll do this again next week.
If you have any suggestions?
Any suggestions? We're not really too worried about whatever. Just hang out.
I got an idea.
What do you got?
What's your favorite character in
My favorite
season
character
1?
in season 1 was Ned Stark. Now that he's gone, rest in peace, Mr. Ned. My favorite character is turning into, and I will say this from the beginning, it was between Jon Snow and Daenerys. Because I said she just bore dragons out of a fire. That's pretty awesome.
Can I be honest, though?
Yeah.
Until the dragon part, I thought she was boring.
Well, yeah.
She didn't talk much. She did get naked, which was not boring.
That was
great.
She did eat a horse heart.
Yeah.
And she did, as a 13-year-old, which is what I think she's supposed to be. Learned how to own a Drago and become a Khaleesi, lead men.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Pretty impressive. But for me, I didn't even know, like, Jon Snow, you didn't think he would... You'd think Robb Stark, for me, it shows, like, what a great leader he is. I liked him in the beginning. I really did.
I liked him.
There's
a lot of good characters.
I loved Tyrion from day one. I thought, here's this guy that no one gives a shit about. He's an outcast. He had great lines, funny as hell, and as the season goes, you see he's got a heart. You know, he helps Bran. He gives advice to Jon Snow. Tells him, hey, don't ever be upset that you're a bastard. You know, be proud of it. And to me, that's always been my favorite character. I like Ned. I definitely was so shocked when he died because I'm like, how are they gonna kill this guy off? He's the most known actor.
That was insane.
The most known actor on the show. I mean, Lord of the Rings.
That's insane.
I mean, you know, 007. Wasn't he a Bond villain or something? Or no, Mission Impossible. I think he was on. Like, this guy's the biggest actor that they have, and I'm like, I don't even know these other actors.
He must have a lot of money. So.
Little did I know that I actually knew Peter Dinklage. If anybody ever watched Elf, you know,
he must be angry.
But
he's an angry elf.
Yeah, that's just something
good times.
Yeah.
All right.
I'd like to say the Red Whore was always one of my favorites too.
Oh,
I can't think of her name. She becomes actually the Lord Baelish's top whore.
Yeah, and then she ends up with. We'll talk about that later.
Yeah, we'll talk about that later. But no, in that episode, she actually goes to Westeros.
Yeah, she's
separately from Ned and runs Lord Baelish's whorehouse.
Yep. I do remember that. Roz. Yes, Roz. Yes, with the big boobs. Yeah. Yes. She actually came to Buffalo. Really?
Nickel City Con. Huh?
Is it Dancer? Or like a Comic
Con? No. Comic Con. Nickel City Con had her autographs and stuff like that she was doing. So.
All right, so to cut it short,
yes,
that's it for tonight. Thank you, Jim.
Thank you, Mike. Love doing this.
Rest in peace to all those we've lost so far in the show. Many more to come, and many more characters to meet. We'll discuss season 2 and 3 and 4. Maybe we can squeeze them all in the next episode, and we'll get rolling. All right, thanks everybody for watching.
Peace. Sweet.